Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are diving into something absolutely wild. We're unpacking a truly mind-bending philosophical concept proposed by Supu Nanajith that questions the very nature of reality itself. Now, you know that feeling when you wake up from a dream that was so incredibly real, it literally takes you a few seconds to remember who and where you actually are? It's kind of disorienting, right? Well, hold on to that exact feeling, because today we're going to stretch that sensation across the entire cosmos to explore a completely different way of looking at our existence. And this brilliantly illustrates the theory's core concept, nested realities, where every universe is just a dream occurring within another consciousness. I mean, look at how the layers just stack up. It's not just a cool piece of cosmic art. It represents a literal map of a hypothetical cosmos. A dreamer dreaming of a dreamer, who is in turn dreaming of another dreamer, stretching out into the infinite unknown. It really makes you wonder about the very fabric of everything around us, taking the seemingly solid world we know and casting it in a deeply mysterious, almost intimate light. Okay, let's dive into this. I want you to ask yourself this profound question. How do you know you are actually awake right now? Seriously, think about it. You feel the physical weight of the chair you're sitting on, you hear the sound of my voice. Everything seems perfectly solid, logical, and continuous. But when you're in a deep sleep, the dream world often feels just as solid and real to you in that moment, doesn't it? This massive thought experiment starts right here, grounding itself entirely in your immediate personal experience of the present moment. So, let's formally define exactly what we're looking at today. According to the theory, the infinite dream universe theory, our universe is not the ultimate reality, but rather a dream occurring within the consciousness of a higher being. It's super important to note that this is a philosophical framework. It's attempting to explain existence, consciousness, and reality itself, not through rigid physics, but through an infinite hierarchy of dream worlds. We're treating this as an exploration of ideas, observing the baseline rules of this concept without necessarily endorsing them as absolute fact, just to see where this fascinating logic takes us. Section 1. The infinite sequence, the mathematics of existence. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the math. Supu Nayanajiv's theory doesn't just leave this as a vague, hazy idea. It actually formalizes it into a sequence of reality. You see X right there? That represents a universe. Let's say our universe. D of X is the universe of the dreamer who is currently dreaming universe X. And d squared x is the universe of the dreamer dreaming them. And no, it doesn't stop at d cubed. This sequence continues infinitely, outward and inward. To make this abstract math incredibly relatable, we really need to realize that we are the variable x in this equation. Our known universe is X, and because this chain extends infinitely in both directions, getting structurally larger and deeper with no limits whatsoever, the theory states that there is no absolute beginning and no final end to reality. Which means, practically speaking, we can never map our true position. We just don't know if we're at the top, the bottom, or somewhere in the middle, mostly because concepts like middle simply don't even exist in infinity. And this brings us to a beautifully elegant comparison that defines our dual role in this system. Under the infinite dream universe theory, existence is entirely relative. Every conscious being, including you and me, exists simultaneously in two states. In one state, we are a dream character within a higher dream, essentially just a figment of a higher being's imagination. But simultaneously, when we close our eyes and go to sleep, we become a dream creator of lower dreams ourselves, effortlessly generating entire universes, physical laws, and characters right within our own minds. Section 2. Redefining life and death, the life cycle of consciousness. According to the theory's specific stance on mortality, consciousness is not permanently attached to a physical body. Instead, it acts a bit like a traveler. It simply moves between dream universes. The theory suggests that when a dream ends, which is what we would conventionally call the end of a physical lifespan, the dream body completely disappears. But the consciousness itself, it survives. It carries on to enter a completely new dream reality, acquiring a brand new identity, a new body, and an entirely new life. Let's walk through these specific steps together to visually transform the abstract and, honestly, sometimes scary idea of mortality into a concrete, sequential journey of continuous movement.
Step 1 is birth. This is defined simply as your entry into a new dream. Step 2 is life, your active participation within that specific dream universe. Step 3 is death, which isn't a final end, but merely the conclusion of the current dream state. And finally, step 4 is rebirth, the smooth transition straight into another dream entirely.
Thus, death is not destruction, but transformation. Take a second to really process that. It's a pivotal, completely paradigm-shifting perspective on mortality. Under this theoretical framework, the end of the line isn't a dark void. It is simply a shift in state, like waking up into the next grand layer of reality. Section 3. Echoes of previous dreams. Glitches in our reality. Let's move to this and see how this builds into our everyday lives. Let's contrast how this theory explains something culturally pervasive: the concept of past lives. Traditionally, we look at the reincarnation of a soul moving from body to body within the same base reality. But the infinite dream universe theory offers a totally unique interpretation. It suggests that these so-called past lives are not soul recycling at all, but rather they are fragmented memories from previous dreams. They're basically residual data from entirely different dream universes you previously inhabited. So the crucial point is how this leftover information actually travels. The theory proposes that information from an earlier dream universe occasionally leaks into our current one, and this results in experiences we all recognize. Déjà vu. Sudden, completely unexplained memories, those strangely familiar feelings toward unknown places or people you know for an absolute fact you've never met. By connecting these incredibly common everyday experiences to this massive theoretical framework, we can really see how the macro impacts the micro. Bringing our journey full circle, we arrive at the absolute scale of infinite cyclical existence. Let's look at the 3 core rules. 1. Every dream creates another dream. 2. Every universe exists within another universe. And 3. Every ending becomes a new beginning. There is absolutely no final ending. The cycle of dreamers and dreams is an unbreakable chain that extends infinitely. I want to leave you with this final provocative thought experiment. Tonight, when you lie down in the dark and you finally close your eyes, whose reality are you creating? And perhaps more deeply, whose dream are you waking up in? Thank you for exploring this phenomenal concept with me on this explainer. Until next time, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep exploring the wonderful structure of our universe.